Hello everybody, Trippin' Sister here. Wanted to show you when we were vacationing in Oklahoma and throughout the U.S., we were hearing stories about the fires that were taking place in Washington, and we are riding through that area where the fire just wiped out everything in its path. Look at that. Unbelievable. Wow.
It goes all the way up to the height of land over on that side. You can see the burn. And then down here, down through the valley and up to the height of land over on the other side. That whole hillside is all burnt up as well.
Wow.
Tremendous loss of timber, property.
It's all gone.
And life.
Yeah, it's wow. That's really something. That house, wow, they just made it by the skin of their teeth. My gosh. But you can see the black in the ground where it's just scorched. It's really quite something. We were going through California a year or two ago, and we stopped at a rest stop, and there were some hot shots that were there. If you don't know what hot shots are, they are firefighters. And they were all covered in black soot and looked exhausted. And they had stopped at this rest stop. I guess they were just using the bathroom or whatever. But I just appreciated what they were doing and how they were hazarding their lives. But I remember riding through there, and for quite some time I had to cover my nose and mouth because the smoke was coming into the cab of the car, and it was choking me, and it was really hard to breathe. But this is really something. Wow, it's a shame. But anyway, just wanted you to see that and maybe spark some gratitude if you're not having a good day.
And part of the challenge with fire in the West is that due to the terrain, in the summertime, the majority of the fires are caused by man. There are lightning strikes that spark wildfires, forest fires. That's not
look at
uncommon,
that.
but the majority of them are caused by man.
Look at that.
And
wow.
They just blight the landscape. But part of the challenge is that the terrain can be so treacherous that when a fire takes off, it just runs up the hillside, and there's nothing that you can do with it except to try and contain it around the perimeter. And that's why you'll hear when they give fire reports, they'll say the fire is only 10% contained, or it's 15% contained, because that's the best that they can do, is traveling that quickly, and it's that dangerous. During the course of last summer, you probably heard on the news reports about 3 firefighters. They were going into a specific area, and the fire was traveling so fast, the call came over the radio telling them to get out of there. They went to turn the truck around, and they got stuck somehow off the road, and the fire came along and burned them up.
Yeah, it's very sad. Very, very sad. So it's, it will come back eventually. But it's just a tremendous loss of property and lives and all that. It's just terrible. You can see down there where some of the grass is starting to come back.
It's surprising how quickly the grasses will start to come back, and the smaller animals, mice and birds and things like that, will come back into the area. But if you look not just over there, but now looking straight ahead, just almost right down into the valley there, almost as far as you can see
where it's
all burned up.
Yeah, it's really something. So some of these houses that are out here are very, very fortunate to still be here. It doesn't seem to be quite as much damage on this side as it is on this side of the highway, but my gosh, it's really something. And if you look at the trees, you can see the bark is black. The trees, they're just black. It's burnt right up. You know, but the thing is, the roots may still be okay. It's just hard to tell. Some of them, it might be soot. But these trees, they'll burn because of the oil in them. You know, the pine, what they're made of. It'll just burn. Isn't that right?
The sap is incredibly flammable.
Yes.
Particularly in the latter part of the summer. If you've ever traveled through this area, you will notice that the smell, it's such a rich, vibrant smell of the pines. It makes you wish that you could can it and keep it until the middle of winter when it's cold and bleak and rainy, and you could open up the can and get a smell of that fresh summer pine air. But the drawback is they're so rich with the sap.
Yeah.
Growing, because the growing season is shorter, that when the fire comes along, it's like they catch fire and burn very quickly. As a matter of fact, there's a type of fire behavior which they call crowning, in which the fire is traveling so fast it's making its own weather, and it goes shooting across the top of the forest. And as it's heating the air ahead of it and making that sap more volatile, it's almost like a puddle of gasoline.
Yeah.
The way the fire just travels across the top of it. That's one of the most dangerous types of fire behavior. And, you know, it can result in tremendous loss of property and loss of life because it'll travel so fast. Far faster than you could run
Or drive.
In many cases, faster than you could drive on a gravel road, certainly.
Yeah. Well, we wanted you to see that, and hopefully you'll take a second thought about your life and where you're living, and the fact that your house hasn't burnt up.
Yeah.
At least not the one you're in now. So, all right, you guys. Have a great day. Keep tripping.